Yes, welcome back to the program. It's now gone 9:34 in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the nasheed there on Somalia. But the next topic, focusing on Sudan, and as the country adjourns a trial against former leader Umar al-Bashir and his allies who are on trial for a 1989 coup. I'm joined online now by Dr. Abdul Karim Jibril Al-Guni, and he has more than 15 years of experience in the private and public sector working in the health project development, implementation, and management, focusing on monitoring, evaluation, and support. He also runs an organization called the Al-Guni Charitable Organization since 2002 and has worked in the SADC region along with the UN agencies and NGOs. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Abdul Karim. Welcome to the program.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for getting me on social media, one of the things that we are always proud of.
Yes. Now tell us this particular trial, what is happening in there and what is the history behind it?
You see, there was a democratic government in Sudan, an elected democratic government in Sudan in the 80s, and the Umar al-Bashir and a number of other civilians have plotted a coup against that government. They took off the democratic government and created an authoritarian regime that has taken Sudan almost 30 years back. And now the Sudanese had a revolution last year that overthrew the al-Bashir, and now they are telling him, you have committed a big sin, and it doesn't die away because it is 30 years ago. It is still alive, and if the negative effects of what you have done is still alive, and we wanted to take you to court for it with the same laws that were there at the time. And this is what is happening. So al-Bashir and about other 20 of the people who plotted the coup were in court yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that his supporters on the ground will be willing to accept this kind of a situation right now? Is there any opposition to this particular court case, or are people accepting it in Sudan?
I don't want to exaggerate and say he has no supporters on the ground. You have seen the millions of Sudanese in every town in Sudan, and even in Johannesburg and Pretoria and internationally. There is no one who is happy about al-Bashir doing that, except the few who have benefited financially from his regime, his corrupt regime. Those are the ones who are just shouting here and there. But the millions of Sudanese are very happy about what has happened yesterday. Actually, they were very angry. They said the court has allowed Umar al-Bashir to come as a normal Sudanese on his Sudanese dress. And they wanted to see him in his jail dress because he is jailed for 2 years for corruption. So they wanted him to come from jail as a prisoner, not as a normal Sudanese. But you see, because of the Sudanese culture, we don't want to go so far for our elders and things like this. But actually, there is no one who is supporting him now. Very few.
Yes. Now, his lawyer, in fact, in December, prior to the case coming up, told reporters that this is a political trial par excellence. What does he mean by that? And is there any political motive behind it? Dr. Al-Guni, we're trying to see if that network can be re-established once again, and we'll try and get him onto the system. It was quite clear just a minute ago and seems to have dropped on us. But nonetheless, this is the case that is now before Sudanese courts, and it could create instability. It could, settle matters, for that matter, in Sudan, where previously there has been quite a bit of violence that has taken place in the removal of Umar al-Bashir and the revolution that has taken place there. Let's see if we can reconnect with Professor Abdul Karim Al-Guni, and he has more than 15 years of experience in the public and private sector in Sudan, and he's worked on several different projects, particularly in the health department and health sector there.
Trying to defend this case.
Yes, Professor Abdul Karim, we lost you there for a moment. The connection broke down. We didn't get didn't get the answer to the question. In fact, we were asking, his lawyers spoke about political trials par excellence previously. What do they mean by that? Is there any politics involved in this year?
They mean that Umar al-Bashir should not be taken to court for a crime that has happened 30 years ago. It must
Mm,
fall. But those are crimes that don't fall by time. The Sudanese law criminalizes any overthrow of a military government. And he has done exactly that. And people are taking him for that, asking him, why did you are a military guy who have allegiance to the government of the day. Why did you oust that government? It is not his intentions were political, but the crime itself is not a political. The crime itself is put in the constitution. Any revolt against, if you are unhappy with an elected government, you can take it off in the next elections. You can't take it by the barrel of the gun. That is a crime. So there is no politics in this.
mhm. And who are some of the other defendants? We've seen his former vice president as well and others. What role did they play in
Yes,
this?
there are a number of military and civilians. The military are the Muslim Brotherhood who were part of the military in that time, and the civilians were also trained in Sudan and in other countries, and they dressed as military. On the day of the coup, they dressed themselves as military, and they participated with the military in that overthrow of the civilian government. So they are all in all about 20. 15 of them are actually civilians, and 5 are military. This group that is now in court.
And in terms of the case now, going forward, well, when is it set to continue? And is there any idea as to how long it will take before a sentence is delivered?
You see that the people who are now in court are 20, and they will give every one of them a time to defend himself. Interestingly, they are all males. There is no females among them. And they will be given an opportunity to defend themselves. And they have lawyers. There is more than 150 lawyers who are standing there to defend al-Bashir and his team. And they have paid from the money of the Sudanese that was looted in the last 30 years. They looted billions of dollars. They are paying it to about 150 lawyers who are standing now to defend them, and it might take months to finish, because if allowed everyone 2 or 3 hours, it will go for months. But we don't know now, but it will continue.
And finally, in terms of the stability of the country, Sudan, as it is right now, do you think that it will remain peaceful and without any outbreak of violence?
Yes, I think so. I think it will remain peaceful. Just last night, the prime minister have appointed the 18 new civilian governors for all the states in Sudan. So now they will replace the military government. Now the whole government is now a civilian government. And people are very happy about this move. They feel that this move is now bringing democracy down to the ground in the states. And the prime minister yesterday spoke of the final step in signing a peace agreement with all the rebel movement. That there were discussions that are negotiations happening in South Sudan, in Juba, in South Sudan. He said they are almost finalized. There was a delegation that was in Khartoum the last 2 weeks. They finalized everything. So by the appointment of the civilian governance of the states and signing of the peace agreement, and the donors meeting that has happened in Berlin last month, I think Sudan is going for a very peaceful transition. But it is just this corona that is standing on the road, preventing things to go smoothly. But I personally believe we are, alhamdulillah, at last going peacefully for Sudanese to enjoy peace in their country, inshallah.
Professor Abdul Karim Al-Guni, Jazakallah khair, and thank you so much for joining us this morning on Salam Media. And inshallah, we speak to you in the future once again.
Thank
Assalamu
you very
alaikum.
much. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.